Hey guys, we're finally here live and I'm so excited about this one. Shout out to Jennifer DeVivo, Let's Talk Orlando. I'm her co-host for today's show and I brought my guest, my friend, Lizeth Santa Maria.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that we can make it work.
Yes.
I'm so glad we can make it work. So we're just gonna have a conversation, and truthfully, I just don't know. Hopefully, you get some value out of her story because I did some stalking and some interviewing beforehand, and she's got an incredible story. So I just can't wait until it all kind of unveils itself for you all. So, Lizeth, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Who is Lizeth Santa Maria? There's a lot of people I don't know.
Yeah, such a big question. I will say this. So I have lived in Orlando for practically my whole life, and I've definitely gone through a journey up until now. I consider myself to be a transformational coach.
Nice.
Basically, I'm a life coach, and I help people when it comes to their career, leadership, and specifically with lupus and wellness. I am a lupus warrior, and I help people that have lupus as well. And I basically help people to transform their lives in any aspect, but those are the areas that I specialize in.
Nice.
And I'm also a lupus advocate.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear how you got there. Well, actually, that brings up a good question. So, how did you get to the point of becoming a transformational coach? And I ask that, I feel like there's a lot of people now in the industry of, and it's awesome to have so many people that want to help people and want to really inspire others. But what's your journey specifically? Transformational coach, that's a big name, a big title to live up to. So tell us, how did you go from Lizeth to transformational coach, lupus warrior advocate? How did you get there?
Well, thank you for even asking. It is a big deal to transform your life. And I went through several different phases where I was able to transform my life in order to live a life where I believe that I'm living authentically and living in my purpose. And going through such a transformation without much guidance, I realized that this is something that I wanted to do for my life, to do purposeful work to help other people change their lives and create the life that they want. And my journey started when I was diagnosed with lupus in 2006.
Wow.
Yes, and I just want to say before I go any further, May is Lupus Awareness Month, and the color for lupus is purple, which is why I'm rocking my purple.
Oh my
God.
God.
I wanted to give this to you.
Oh my
It
God.
says support
yes.
the fight against lupus. So,
Oh my goodness. Can we get
and I have one too.
purple?
Yeah.
And there's only this day left of
Yes,
May.
it's the last day. So how perfect.
I feel so honored. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
I love you.
Oh,
I love you too.
So my story began with my lupus journey. I was diagnosed when I was 24, and it completely changed my life. And at the time, in the most tragic way, because one, I didn't know what lupus was. Back then, nobody was talking about lupus like they are today. And it was a time where I had to make changes in my life in order to be healthy and to keep living. Lupus was affecting my health in ways that it got in the middle of me being able to do daily activities like being in the sun or working out. I'm very active. Going to the beach is something I love to do, and people that have lupus are not supposed to be in the sun. And it affected me with my career. It made it really hard for me to go to work some days because I was feeling so much pain and inflammation. People with lupus, they deal with their immune system in a way that other people can't. And I say that because when a normal person has someone without lupus, they have their immune system, and their immune system is what protects them and fights diseases and viruses that are in your system. And when you have lupus, your immune system attacks itself. So I say that to say that you have to control your immune system from attacking itself. It'll attack your organs, your tissues, your joints, and so on and so forth. So for me, it started to attack my kidneys, my cells. I was experiencing the beginning stages of internal bleeding. And when I landed in the hospital because of my lupus, that's when I felt like I hit rock bottom, and I realized that I needed to make changes in my life.
Right.
And instead of looking at the situation like these are all things that I can no longer do anymore, I looked at it as, you know what, I'm stronger than this, and I'm not going to be in this situation again where I'm in the hospital.
Good for you.
Not if I can help it. So I started to discover my power to make changes in order to educate myself about my disease, in order to see how I can empower myself to take control of my life, not just with my health, but also with my career. And when I started to do that, that is when I started to go through my transformation. And it really helped me to realize what's important. And for me, that was living a purposeful life and helping other people so they can make the same changes and transform their lives.
Gotcha. I've seen some of your client reviews. I told you I stalked you a little bit. You've got some, I mean, there were, I think there was one that I read that said that I feel like I'm living a more purposeful life and I appreciate you so much. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It was one of your, so I'm like, your journey, you've had to experience some true challenges. I mean, there was another review that says, like, I feel like when I'm talking to you, that you understand and feel exactly what I'm going through. And I get the chills really talking about that because, we've all been through our own personal journeys. And me, I've been a single mother for, God, a long time. My son's 12 years old, but the journey of not only just being the single mom and just really having not many people to cry on their shoulders, but
to support you.
It's like I gotta hold it all the way down by myself, and you get stuck into this facade of being the strong woman where some nights you just want to break down and cry. And I'm sure you experienced this with lupus. Like I know my belief is that even we've been through separate journeys, but we feel the same pains.
Yes, a journey is a journey, and basically when you start your journey, it's because you're trying to overcome something that has been difficult in your life. And I resonate with what you said so much about, feeling like you had to hold it all together by yourself, because when I was diagnosed with lupus and going through all these difficulties, I felt like I had no one to talk to, so I suppressed it and I kept it to myself. And the bad thing about that is that people generally want to help you. They want to be there for you, especially the people, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your coworkers, whoever. And unless we are open to talking about our days, whether it's a good day and we're experiencing wins, or a bad day and we're experiencing challenges and obstacles, how is anyone going to know how they can support us whenever we're doing good or bad?
Right.
And for so long, I kept everything bottled up inside about what I was going through, my lupus symptoms, and how I was feeling, and the struggles I was going through. And when I decided to live in my purpose and live authentically, I began to share with my family when I was going through tough times, with my loved ones. And it's like, it's a beautiful thing, because when you begin to share, then other people begin to share. And that's when you find that camaraderie and that support that people need.
That's a really good point. Living authentically.
Yes.
A lot of people have a hard time. It's a tough society. Like, people are super judgmental these days, and even as a coach, it's competitive. As a real estate professional, it's super competitive.
Yeah.
But, people ask me, what's your superpower? How do you do it? And I'm like, I really, genuinely just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I am me, and it's what, but it was not easy for me to get there. It literally happened maybe 2 years ago, and it was a long spiritual journey for me.
Yes.
And then after the spiritual journey, it was a lot of Tony Robbins. Yes, I drank that Kool-Aid. It was a whole lot of Tony Robbins. So, but the Tony Robbins, he was just a vehicle. He was just a way for me to really get deeper into, within myself. Then I got into books and Deepak Chopra, and then following Lisa Nichols, so there was a lot of evolving over the last maybe 4 years, but I immersed myself. I was like determined to get to a point where I'm okay with who I am and my flaws,
Isn't
the
that
good
so
with the bad.
beautiful?
Is that authentic to you? What's living authentic like? How do you explain that to someone else?
Okay.
Living authentic.
I love that you asked me that question. So it's one of the things that I do or that I talk about in my motivational talks because I'm so passionate about it. And so I'll say this: when you are going through that journey to live an authentic life, you really have to stop and ask yourself and dive deep into what is my purpose. And the way that I like to describe it is your purpose is why you are here on this earth. Everybody, and I'm a firm believer in this, everybody was made with a purpose. Everybody was given the gift of a talent. And when you realize what your talent is, which is how you should show up in the world, right? By using your talent, sharing your gift with the world, that is when you begin to live a purposeful life, and that is when you begin to live authentically. Because you're living how you were supposed to show up in this world.
Right.
And you are doing purposeful work to contribute to the world.
That's great.
Why else are we here? So, but a lot of times, and I wish they taught this in school, people don't take the time to really figure that out. So I love how you said that you're still going through that. It is a journey. I'm still going through that. I call it a spiritual awakening.
Yes, yes.
And it doesn't happen overnight. I'm still going through mine. And, when I finally took that leap of when I decided that I wanted to do purposeful work and I wanted to be a transformation coach and help other people, I stepped away from my corporate job of working in HR, which was completely stressful for me. I wasn't happy. I knew that I wasn't living in my purpose, and I made that leap to start living a purposeful life and being more authentic. And every day I try to make choices to show up authentically.
That's good.
It's when you begin to live in your purpose, share your talents and your gifts with others, then you see that, and you tell me if you've experienced this, you see that other people are inspired by you, or they begin to share with you, you know what, I'm going through a similar journey. And that's when it's like a domino effect of positivity and awesomeness that happens.
Yeah.
And you start to align yourself with people that are on that journey as well.
Yeah.
And your circle begins to change, your actions begin to change, your life begins to change. And it is the most magical thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. So for me, the journey started by I didn't know where to start. And I was explaining this to a friend last night, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, all I knew was the hustle. All I knew is that I knew how to work hard. And I know, like, all my certainty in me, every cell in me, I know I can work. Like, I'm a workaholic, I'll work. But that's all I knew. And it was, for me, it was just forcing myself to be in an uncomfortable environment. That then I was around. Do you have a similar story?
No, I resonate with what you're telling me.
It was just about like, it was God completely put me in a scenario where I was around a whole bunch of freaking producing people, like just professionals that made six figures, and at that time I was still between 20 and 30,000 working two jobs. And I was just like, but they loved me because I was determined just to go, and that's it. All I knew was just grind. And it evolved, and it evolved, and as my journey continued, it evolved so much so to the point that it actually this last year has just been very, very, I've evolved a lot. Like, it just kind of took me to the awakening stage, I feel like, where people are like, Jennifer, you're so inspiring.
They see it in you.
And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just my crazy self. But I have a certain compassion for people. I have a natural curiosity to know, like, what's going on in your world. Like, I've always been that person. I just love people. I love being around people. And I'm just naturally curious, like, what is your story? I know I can learn something about your journey. Like, and then I kind of got to the point where I was like, I think it's coming closer to the time that I need to start telling my story.
Yes.
And it's scary. And I still haven't even told my story yet.
And that's where that sharing and that inspiration and it's that domino effect that I was talking about, that energy that you start to give out in the world. And you start to attract people that are either going through it or have been through it. And it's like a path just lights up for you.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like it's happening. I feel like I am falling into my purposes. A lot of people watching know I do a lot of events, and I do a lot of first-time home buyer events, and I do a lot of, I've got a VA event coming up, but that all kind of stems from me wanting to educate, and I feel like I put the fun and the passion into educating, you know? And so it's awesome that you're able to bring that out of other people, right? You've got clients that come to you looking to find what's my purpose. How do I identify my purpose, right?
Speaking about that, actually, Heather Hurry said, what is your purpose? What is your why? What is your gift to the world? Let's contribute. Take the time to figure it out. It's a journey. Spiritual awakening takes time.
Yeah. And
so it's funny you're saying about purpose.
Heather, thank you for commenting. And it never ends. I feel like every freaking month I'm encountered with something else, and I'm like,
you continue to grow and evolve, and thank you for saying that, because what I'm sharing is not new, but being able to articulate it helps other people to articulate the journey that they're going through. It really does. And so I will say this, when you begin to live in your purpose and share that with others and show up every day sharing your talents, your gifts with the world, you are either going to see that people are going to align with you, the people that are supporting your journey, that are going through the same thing that you are, maybe in different aspects, but they're going through that spiritual awakening. And then you're also going to see that people shift away from you. And some people aren't ready to accept that they're not living a purposeful life, that they're not living in their truth, they're not living authentically. It's hard for people to accept that and to verbalize it. And I want to just say that's okay, because those people will either get it later, or you know what, then it's time for you to move on and keep surrounding yourself around these people, like just like you were saying, that are inspiring you, that are motivating you, that are on that track. And hopefully, you know, people will see that, you know what, wow, Jen is living in her purpose, because look how she's shining so bright. When you begin to live in your purpose, you're going to experience so much undeniable truth and acceptance from the world and praise, because people are going to appreciate the talents that you're sharing with the world, because that's what you're supposed to do. So all this work that you're doing now and people are recognizing it in you, it's because you're beginning to live in your truth, live in your purpose, and live authentically.
That's so good. I feel like I'm on her clients.
That's so good, though.
Listen, don't charge me for this session, okay?
Well, and when you said people come, so people typically come to me because they want to make a change and they don't know how.
Okay. And how did you identify that change with you? You went through lupus. You said you hit rock bottom. What did that feel like, and how did you know, oh my God, was it the hospital? Was it being close to death? Like, what was that turning point like for you?
Well, thank God, I just want to say this. Over the years, I've gotten so close with people in the lupus community that are at that point where they're close to death. And for me, my rock bottom was to the point where it wasn't that severe. I think I stopped it before it got to that point.
Gotcha.
But I was having internal bleeding and my kidneys were affected, and you know, all the pain and the hair loss, and you know, it's a trickle effect with lupus. And so when people come to me, it's because they're in that same place, hitting rock bottom. When you realize and you openly admit to yourself that you're not living in your purpose, which is what I had to do, then
Exactly right.
it's the feeling that you feel inside is so undeniable that you cannot ignore it anymore. I'm a firm believer that and you mentioned God, I'm a firm believer in God also, and in the universe, and I believe that when it gets to the point where you have not taken the steps to change your life yourself, then God will make it so uncomfortable for you to make a change, that you have to make a change. And I believe that I needed that basically to hit rock bottom, like so many people do, to admit to themselves that they're not living their purpose, that they need to make a change in their life. So when people come to me, they're at that point and they don't know how to start.
That's awesome.
Just like what you said, I didn't know how to start.
No.
And what I do as a coach is I help people articulate what they're going through by being able to share my experiences. That's why you saw my client say I felt like you could relate to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I coach people in the areas that I do, because those are my areas of expertise. I've lived it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the kind of coach that's like, oh, I'm perfect, be like me.
That's right. Yeah.
No. I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to be open about my wins, so hopefully you can learn from how I did it, or I'm going to share with you my challenges so you won't make the same mistakes, or so you have someone that can identify with what you're going through. And I begin to help people set goals, and not just goals. I help people turn those goals into actions.
Nice.
A lot of times people are dreamers,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't know how to take that dream into action and become doers. And that's what I do as a coach.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what do you think stops people from pursuing their goals? There's a lot of people that have goals or New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Like, why do people stop? Like, why do people feel like, all right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to the gym for 3 days, a week. They do it for 3 weeks and then they stop. Why?
Yeah. Well, it's funny you ask. I'm in the middle of launching a goal-setting program to help people accomplish their goals. So as soon as I get that out, I will share it with you guys. But I talk about this, so it's so cool that you asked me that. Well, we talked about that people don't know how to start, right? So they have all these goals. People get so inspired at a certain point in their life, and they're like, I want to accomplish this and this and this and this. And then they have all these goals, but then they quit before they even start.
Got it.
Or they start to accomplish their goals, right? But then they didn't really stop and plan strategically before they started the process in order to really map out, well, this is my goal, this is what I want, this is what I want to accomplish.
Right.
But I need to figure out how to get there.
Right.
And they don't take the steps to plan out strategic actions to help them accomplish their goal.
That's
little
good.
by little.
That's good.
It doesn't happen overnight. You want to lose 10 pounds? It doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't?
No.
Damn.
You want to be a successful realtor? It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You want to change your career? It does not happen overnight. So what are the steps that you can take to keep you seeing progress?
Mm-hmm.
And when you continue to see progress, you keep getting motivated, and the motivation is what's going to keep you going.
I like to always say progress equals happiness.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Right? Like progress or momentum builds,
Yes.
happiness. It really
Yes.
does. Because I lived that too. You feel like I've got this goal, and then you get down on your goal. Like the gym, and let's just I'll call it what it is. The gym, right? I've got amazing accountability at my gym. Shout out to Hardcore Fitness if anybody's watching.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of people. Even Jennifer DeVille said, you guys are sharing such valuable points. You are both blessings.
Oh, so good. But the gym, right? So I'll go like 2 weeks, 4 days, 5 days a week. Shout out to Deontay if he's listening, because Deontay made me put $50 in his bank if I don't go 1/4. I think I owe him $50.
That's accountability.
Yeah.
Accountability and
really good
support
with that.
that's another reason why people stop.
Yeah.
So, and I think I cut you off. You were saying
No, please. Well, how about you, girl?
the third reason why I see that people stop working towards their goals is because they hit a bump in the road. And I think that, one of the things that I tell my clients right away and we work on as setting the foundation before we even go into goal setting and action planning is that we talk about what are the potential obstacles that could come up along the way, because it's life.
That's good.
It's going to come up.
That's
We
so
can't
good.
act like it's going to be smooth sailing. We're going through change, transformation. That's not easy. So let's identify these potential obstacles that are going to come up. And then not only that, let's identify how you can be prepared to overcome that obstacle when it does show up.
That is so good. That was a golden nugget. So if anybody's watching, hopefully we wrote that down, because if you prepare in advance for the obstacles, you're not thrown off to the point where you get discouraged or you get sad and then you quit. And now you're spending a week trying to figure out, how do I build this momentum? And now here we are 2 weeks later, and you're like, damn it, I'm fat. Bump it. Whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
So if you plan ahead of time and know, like, all right, the obstacle is that vacation that I'm getting ready to take.
Yes, it'll throw me off.
Right, and then go, Lizeth, how do I prepare for this? I'm going on a cruise, it's all you can eat.
Right.
You know, so that's I'm taking that one with me.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Yes,
That is really
you gotta
good.
be real with
That's
yourself because you know yourself better than anybody. You know what your obstacles could be. And another thing that I want to mention is our triggers. Everybody has a trigger or triggers.
Donuts, don't bring them around me.
Triggers
Yeah.
are those things that you know that will get in the way and
Yeah.
it'll revert you back to where you started from, or maybe even further back. And it'll take you that much further away from accomplishing your goal or showing up how you should in life. So when you know your triggers, donuts, whatever the case may be, then you realize, okay, I'm being triggered right now. So this is an obstacle for me. But now that I realize it and I'm real with myself and I can identify it, then it doesn't take that much power over me.
That's so good. Is that how, are these goals and the ways of goal setting, is this how you help people who want to transform their lives?
Oh, absolutely.
Starting by setting the goals and setting the intentions.
So we don't start by setting goals first. What I do with my clients, and I'm glad that you asked me that, I just had a new client that I started with yesterday, and I explained to him, before we start the goal setting process, we need to look at who you are as a person, why you want to make these changes, and the reason why you want to make this change is going to help you to identify your why. I actually just did a post about this today. When you know what your why is, why you want to make the change in your life, then that'll help you to remember why you're going through all this hard work in the first place. And we do that first because that'll align you with your purpose and your authenticity from the beginning, or at least get the ball rolling, get your mindset right. And then we go into the goal setting and the action planning.
I call that getting leverage over yourself, right?
Ooh, that's good
Yeah.
too.
So like if you know your why is supposed to make you cry. At least my why did. That's my belief. You know, I tell my friends all the time, it's like everybody preaches, know your why. And people are like, why do you want to do it? Because I need to support my son. Okay. But why is that important to you?
Yes.
What does that really mean to you?
Yes.
Right? For me, it's about giving him another life, giving his children another life, and giving myself a way that they can remember me as, my mom did this because she wanted to break, you know, the generational curse or whatever it is for you.
Can
right?
I say something like,
Yeah.
okay, like that was really powerful. You didn't even know. You should have emphasized more because I want to make that a hashtag. Your why should make you cry.
Yeah.
That was really good. I'm dead serious. Do you hear what she said?
It's powerful.
Because your son and motivating him, giving him a good life, those thoughts will make me cry.
And
So your why should make you
tell
cry.
me, when you go through an obstacle, wouldn't
Yes.
that be something that'll keep you going?
100%. 100%.
It's true.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys.
Ooh, we got deep there.
Yeah, you
So
did.
deep. That's what I do.
Heather said progress/momentum equals happiness.
That's right. Go Heather. Look
So
at you.
good.
So I wanna touch on this. I had a conversation and I was trying to explain living with peace, right? A lot of people are, and I get this a lot. I live this actually. Like, that's cool. I can respect her. I can honor her, but I'll separate myself. I'll keep my distance.
Yeah.
I hear people say, I don't need to have a relationship with whoever. I respect them and I love them, but you know, and sometimes referring to like your own family members. But then people get boggled down and think that's living with peace. I have a belief personally that living with peace is not only, that's just one part of it, but the other part is like it has to align with genuinely what you feel and what you believe on the inside. Like if you're still feeling some bitterness to the I love you, I honor you, but we have to separate. If you're still feeling bitterness, but outside saying that,
Then you don't have that peace.
I feel like that's not peace, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. What the hell do I know? I'm just a real estate agent.
Oh, no. And you know what? You are not just a real estate agent. You are a real estate agent. You are inspirational. And look, you do events for other people to help other people. So You're so
Thank you.
right. It's a great thing that you do in this world.
Thank you so much.
I want to take what you said a step further because it is about how you feel on the inside, and I think you're talking about still holding on to that animosity or that hurt or that pain that other individual caused you. And I do agree with you. If you don't know how to necessarily honor your feelings,
Right.
and learn how to
That's
move
big.
past them, because when people say like you need to just let it go, I don't believe in that. I think that your feelings are your feelings and you should honor them and work through them.
That's great.
And I believe that when you work through them and you're honest with yourself about the why it triggered you or made you feel a certain way, then this is what I was talking about, taking it a step further. Not only do you have peace on the inside, but then you are able to reflect it and show up in the world with your actions showing that you are at peace.
Wow.
So I think it starts with your mindset, and then when you're able to understand, then you can move forward in that peaceful way and show up in life as you want to.
Wow. That's so good. I hope you guys got that one. Jesus. Jay, did you get that?
I'm right there. I got a close up on y'all.
Deep stuff. Deep. It's deep and powerful, and hopefully it will influence you to make some type of changes because there's somebody that's watching you, right? I feel like there's always someone watching you.
6 people in fact.
There's always, exactly. See, 6 people watching you. But there's always someone watching you in your day-to-day life, whether it be your kids or your mom, but there's someone that you can inspire that you have no idea, but by simply just taking a nugget from what someone else says and just going and taking action on just that one thing
Yes.
can transform
Yes.
your life.
Yes, you get it.
So, I'm gonna close out with one big question, and maybe there might be 3 other questions that come after that because this is so much fun. But what would you, if you start all over again from the day that you were at the hospital, what advice would you give yourself to take with you on this journey? Like, what's one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you had to do it all over again?
That's a really good question. The advice that I would give myself is to really dive deep into who I am as a person. And I wish that I would have started that journey back then. And keep practicing self-love. Instead of looking at all the things that I can't do, focus on the things that I can. And I say that because I believe that has to do with self-love. When you love yourself, you don't focus on all of your weaknesses or on all the things that you don't have and the things that you are maybe bad at.
Yeah.
You start to focus on the things that you do have in life and your blessings. And I was at such a low point in my life where I was just like, man, I don't have this, I don't have that, I'm not where I want to be, my health sucks, I'm in the hospital. My boyfriend at the time left me because I got sick. I was focusing on all those things. Why? No, I'm living, and I can still. I'm still here to talk about it, and I need to. My company's called Discover Your Power, and it's because you have to discover your power. Every single day is a new day. Every single day you have to wake up and be thankful and recognize that you are here for a purpose. And thank God that you have a life to live in order to do it.
That's so beautiful.
So I would just remind myself of that.
Self-love. So it's like focusing more on your empowering beliefs instead of the disempowering, right?
Be
'Cause it's
thankful.
so easy
Yes.
and be grateful.
Be thankful for what you have and focus on your opportunities. Focus on your opportunities. Do not focus on the things that you don't have and what you can't do or what other people told you you can't do.
Right. That's great. Because I always say opportunities are everywhere around us. We literally can walk outside and there's an opportunity for me to grow or for me to.
And no one has to give you that opportunity.
Right.
You can create the life you want. You can create your opportunities. And when you begin to do that and you manifest this positivity and you're radiating that positive energy, you start to attract opportunities that start coming to you.
Right.
Amen.
People want to hang out with you.
Like how me and you
I know.
connected.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's what I wish that I would have realized that earlier, how powerful I am as a person, and all of us are powerful as people. We just have to tap into that and begin to live the life that we're meant to live.
How do you handle your challenges, though? Let's be real. Life happens, right? So, for me, truthfully, I'm gonna admit, I blast them like Rihanna, and I just, like, singing and music, just like, want you to make me feel. You know what I mean? Like, like, how powerful is that song? But that's me, right? So, like, what do you do when you're faced with challenges? Like, I just like to belch and, like, sing loud in my car. But, like, what about you? What do you do?
So it's also funny. I feel like I keep saying it's funny you ask me that, but so just yesterday I was talking to my new client and I said, you know, we did that foundation work, and I'm like, you have to know what your resources for inner strength are, because it's different for you than it is for me. And music is one thing. I like to listen to positive, you know, music, or music that'll pump me up. You know, some people like to journal, some people like to read the Bible, some people like to go on a walk, you know, whatever it is. But for me, the thing that keeps me motivated is God. I have talks with God all the time.
That's great.
I'm literally like, I'm like, hey God. And then, you know, I talk to God and I ask God to give me strength. And that helps me every single time I'm going through something difficult. And I also rely on my support system. I have an amazing support system, and I'm so thankful for them. And that includes my family, who I'm super close with. Hi guys, I love you all.
Family.
And also my friends, and we call each other family. You know, friends, family. So I have a great support system, but my main source of strength is God. And whenever I'm lacking or feel like I'm lacking, then I ask for that strength. Awesome. But I will just throw this in there. Being able to move and do something physical is very empowering for me, especially having lupus. So whether it's a walk or stretching or, you know, getting on a bike, whatever it is, that also helps rejuvenate me.
That's good. Tony Robbins, you know, that's my cult leader. He says where your focus where your energy goes, or where your focus goes, your energy flows. So where your focus goes, your energy flows, so right? Funny. We focus on disempowering, we focus on the hurt. You know, that's what our energy's gonna flow to. We're gonna feel it, right?
I say this. Good. It's a quote on the homepage of my website. I said, "What you put your energy towards will grow."
Yeah.
So if you're focusing on yourself, and what you said with Tony Robbins, that reminds me. When you focus on yourself, you pour into yourself.
Exactly.
You will grow. Whatever you pour into will grow. So if you want to manifest positivity, work on your self-talk, work on your mindset. If you want to start seeing positive actions, you got to do positive things that'll get you in that right space. So it starts from you.
I remember wanting this and show that to my wife, just that quote right there. That's a good one. Yeah, like a lot of positivity. Put your energy to your flow. I like that. That's really good.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Well, we're gonna wrap up the interview and then do the tour. But how can people get in contact with you? I've got friends that have lupus. I'm sure that you know. I've got friends that are going through things too. And I mean, it's important for me to make sure I'm providing a resource to them so that they can reach out if they want.
Thank you. I'm on Facebook as Lizeth Santa Maria, Lizeth Santa Maria, and I'm also on Facebook as Discover Your Power, and my website is discoveryourpowertoday.com. And you can reach me there. I'm at Coach Li at discoveryourpowertoday.com. So I hope that you guys do reach out to me. I do offer a free coaching consultation, free 30-minute sessions, so you can see if we're a good fit for each other, so we can partner together. And if you have lupus and you just want someone to talk to, I'm always here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Are you ready to get this tour?
Yes.
Okay.
This has been so amazing.
Awesome. So we are in the Darcy right now. It's a David Weegley home. It's a townhouse right there. We're located at 115 East Concord Street, right in the Mills District, downtown Orlando. So we're gonna go downstairs and come up. It's 3 stories, and we're gonna get some input from Miss Lizeth.
Ooh.
Alright, so I guess we'll just pretend like we're coming in, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pretend like we're doing it, I don't know. We just improvise, this is what we do.
Nice entryway, nice.
Right.
To see first off, yeah.
Let me show the outside of this. How big this is.
Yeah, huge.
Look at that.
Huge.
Look at all that.
So let's walk on in this model and welcome home.
I like that there's brick to it.
The cobblestone kind of feel, right? Like it gives it the real downtown old-ish vintage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's gonna be 3 bedrooms and 3 baths.
Okay.
Each room has a bathroom right next to it.
That's so awesome. Yeah.
So each floor has a room. Yeah, a room and a bathroom. So it's crazy because it's like you can actually live here, maybe have like 2 other roommates. Like this is a cool little
Wait, so
college
it's 3
town.
floors, 3 bedrooms, and 3 bathrooms.
That's
And
right.
each floor has a bedroom and a bathroom.
That's right.
Really
Exactly.
You guys heard that? That's amazing. You can have 3 roommates
Everybody has their own
paying your whole
bathroom.
mortgage. Like,
So right now the sales center is just using this room here as an office space. So come on in, Lizeth. So this is a room. What do you think about the closet? Well, you're over there. I'm just gonna stand here and
Closets
pose.
are huge for me. They need to be big enough. And this is, well, and I kind of cheated because I saw the closet upstairs. But this is a good closet for downstairs.
Okay.
Because this is not a main room, but it's nice that there's a good sized closet here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then there's a little
And
bathroom.
there's a good sized bathroom, which
Yeah.
is nice. Very nice.
So this is cool for those that don't like
Yeah,
have
this
that
is-
roommate that doesn't want to go up downstairs.
Well, and this is a good sized room.
It is. Especially for a townhouse, right?
and 2-car garage. Look at that, guys. 2-car garage.
Alright, we're gonna go up the stairs. Go back up. Lizette, how are those heels treating you, babe?
Oh, they're my purple heels for Lucas. Yes.
Purple heels.
They're great.
Okay. And now we're in the living space. So this is the 2nd floor. Lizette, do you want to show them into this room here on the corner?
Okay.
And I'll follow.
Yeah. This is also a really nice size room. Oh, you know what? I like those blinds that are there too. To shield some of the sun.
Some of the sun. That's a good point.
And it's away, like it blocks the rain.
Yeah.
You know, like rain guards for your car?
Yeah. Ring. I wouldn't know that. I just said yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about a car.
But I also like this room because it has a nice view of downtown.
Oh, lots of light too, and the natural lighting.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Yeah. This is nice.
Awesome. So this is over 1,800 square foot of space. So
1,800 square foot of space, guys.
yes, 1817 to be exact. So
Wow.
if you go that way, there's a bathroom.
And it has a nice size shower.
It's small, so I'm just gonna stand out here.
Nice.
For this space, you wouldn't think that it could fit all this, but it does.
Right. So we're gonna come over here and take a look at the living space. That all these windows, the great views outside. Could you do some entertaining and invite your family over?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, just the fact that
This is huge right here,
so
yeah.
big and open and it has
Look
really
at the
light
tall
and
ceiling.
nice.
But look how high the ceiling goes. It's crazy. It really gives it a very big home feel. Like a lot of people are feel
Feels
like
huge when you come in.
right. So like some people are like townhome, it's too small. But when
Yeah.
you come into this living space, I mean, there's a lot of space here.
Well, most townhomes, how you pointed out the ceiling, most townhomes have the low
lower
ceiling. Yeah. So this is nice.
Beautiful in the kitchen, completely upgraded. That's amazing.
You wanna
Should
see
I
it?
walk over there
Yeah.
and just Vanna White the kitchen? I'm Vanna White in the kitchen. Yours truly, Jennifer Ganacio.
There we go. There we go.
Sorry. Are you okay?
The
Yeah.
backsplash is really good too. I'm a fan of gray. So
I love white kitchens. Love white kitchens. With the stainless steel and the gray, yeah.
yeah, it's a good combo.
Awesome.
These lamps, everything.
Right?
It's nice.
It's a good touch.
I like that though. Look at that stove.
Oh
Oven
yeah,
thing.
it's got the double stove, the
I don't even cook. It makes me want to use it.
microwave and oven. So all right, let's go upstairs.
I'll go up on you.
Shoes, where you at? All right, let's go on up. Jay, don't fall.
That is impressive.
Jay.
I got you.
Jay! I'm not gonna catch you.
Oh my gosh,
We
you make me
jinxed it.
nervous.
Did
I
we
got
jinx it?
you definitely jinxed it. Oh my gosh.
All right, so we're on the third floor now. This is the big suite. This is Lizette's favorite part.
Oh my goodness.
We'll get to the closet in a minute.
Okay.
That's her favorite part. But check out this room. Beautiful space. Asymmetrical ceilings gives it the real downtown type of feel. You've got space in the little corner to put a little nook area. Maybe read a book or meditate if you're into that. And Jay, you lead the way into the bathroom.
Okay.
In the big bathroom. Lots of space again in here. And just a nice area to just be at
Double
peace with yourself.
sinks. That's always nice.
Heck yeah.
That's always a plus.
So it's a good workout to get up here, but you're downtown.
It's worth
you know
it.
You know what you're buying. So is that your favorite part
Oh
of the
my
house?
goodness. Okay, so this closet, I had a reaction when I saw this closet, like, oh my god. First of all, look how deep it is, which is amazing for my ladies if you have to share a closet
Walk in there for perspective.
with anybody, or you could fill it up all by yourself. And then the fact that it has this,
Yeah.
Put your shoes on real quick.
yeah, you could sit and, or take them off after a long day. That's what I would do. But no, this is really nice. It's really nice.
Walk over there, see how deep that is, so you can see it on camera.
Uh-oh.
Look
Let's
at
go,
that.
Vanna.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're so
Look at that. That's deep.
Yeah. Oh, stop it.
No, it's very nice.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's a tour. If you need more information on this house or you want to talk to Miss Lizeth, come here, Lizeth.
Aw, thank you for
Oh
having
my
me.
God, it was
Thank
such
you
a
for
pleasure.
everybody that tuned in. I hope that you got something that added value.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And listen, if you didn't, this is live, so you guys can play this back and you can get her information and give her a call. Give me a call for any real estate needs. It was a pleasure.
So nice. Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
You guys have an awesome day.
Bye.
Happy Friday.